So now what we're going to do is learn another strumming pattern. Now this is going to be the coolest strumming pattern. It's basically a rock beat, which is like the drum beat that you hear constantly in popular music. It's basic 4/4, so it goes with a lot of stuff we're going to do, and it sounds really, really cool. The strumming pattern for it, it's going to be called the rock strum. Now what it is basically the drum beat that we hear all the time, which is the doo-tat, doo-doo-tat, doo-tat. That's a drum beat, for example, very badly done, but it's going to sound more like this one. Doo-tat, 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 doo-tat. Strumming pattern, what we're going to do, we're going to put our fingers over the strings, just like we have before. Tick-tock technique. We're going to hold the pick correctly like we have been. So just adjust that now, make sure that's correct. Let's have a go. We're going to do a downstroke first. Then we're going to go a down up. So nothing new. We're going to do exactly like we did before, so it's going to start the same way. Down, down, up. However, we're going to do another upstroke. So we're going to basically have 2 downs and 2 ups. It'll sound like this. Down, down, up, up. I'll do that again. Down, down, up, up. Now if you could do that with me, make sure your technique's all good. Right hand's holding the pick beautifully. Left hand, you've got the strings muted. Do that together. Here we go. And down, down, up, up. I'll do it one more time. Down, down, up, up. Now, what a lot of people do when they learn this and they see this written down on a piece of paper, they go down, down, up, up, which is basically, you might as well go down, 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 or down, up, down, up. There's no actual rhythm in there. The rhythm's just da, 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 da. We want the rhythm to be da, 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 da. Down, down, up, up. Down, down, up, up. Join me. Down, down, up, up. Here we go. Down, down, up, up. And again. Down, down, up, up. Think of those 2 ups and make sure you are strumming tick-tock technique. So when you're doing 2 upstrokes, obviously you have to come down to do another up. Now that down, you miss the strings. So that's where a miss would belong. So it will go down, down, up, miss, up. But if you focus on miss, you'll miss the actual strumming pattern because you're focusing on something that's going to ruin the pattern. So focus on 2 ups. Down, down, up, up. Now what we're going to do is add a down if you're ready for it. Right at the end. So literally after our second up, we come straight back down. So it'll sound like that. Up, down. Let's see what that looks like in a pattern. Down, down, up, up, down. And again, down, down, up, up, down. Do it with me now. Down, down, up, up, down. If you're struggling with that, stick with down, down, up, up for a bit longer, and then add that down in at the end, or slow it down a little bit. So it's like this. Down, down, up, up, down. Don't go too slow though, because then you won't get the feeling of that programmed into your right hand or your strumming hand if you're a left-handed player. So let's do that again. Down, down, up, up, down. Now we can join them together. Down, down, up, up, down. Down, down, up, up, down. That was 2 in a row. You'll notice at the end of it, I ended with a down, 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 up, up, down. I had to come up again to start again. So obviously I'm missing the strings again to do the next down. The way to make that really obvious is to make the first beat of the bar, which is the first down, nice and strong. Down, down, up, up, down. Down, down, up, up, down. Down, down, up, up, down. Hopefully you're playing with me. If you can play along with me now, that'd be cool. Down, down, up, up, down. If not, like I said, don't worry. You've got to start small. Break it down to the first few beats if you need to. Even start right from the beginning, just down, down, up, and then work your way up from there. Don't worry if that's the case. We're just programming that in, and bit by bit adding the whole strumming pattern in. So let's have a listen now with the chords to see what that sounds like. I'm going to do the E chord. So put your fingers on the E chord, and we're going to see what that strumming pattern sounds like. For those of you that have gotten confident with that strumming pattern, when you hear a chord, it tends to make you get a bit crazy because it kind of sounds a bit different and can cause you to make mistakes with your strumming. Don't worry about that. Very, very normal. So just persevere and push through, and eventually that'll become quite normal for you. So here we go. And down, down, up, up, down. That was a strumming pattern. Let's do 2 in a row. And down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. If you can do 2 in a row, you can do 1,000,000 in a row. Once you've got the connection between 2 strumming patterns, you're away. Take your time adding to the strumming pattern until you've got them linked. So let's do that now with the chord progression. We're going to do the same chord progression that we did for the previous one. So we're going to do 2 bars of D, 2 bars of A, 2 bars of E, 2 bars of A. Same chord progression we did for the previous lesson. Let's have a go. So here we go. I'll count it in. 2 bars of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the A chord, down, up, down. 2 ups in a row is a way to think about it. E, down, down, up, down, 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 up. Back to the A, down, down, up, down, down. And we can keep going if you wanted to, back to the D again. And if you are enjoying that, feel free to do that right now. Just keep on playing through that. The trick is imprinting the right arm, imprinting that strumming pattern so we don't have to think about it. Remember how we imprint it? Play it over and over and over. And it's the feeling of that hand, it's the feeling of it. It's not what it looks like, it's how that strumming pattern feels with that sound as well, with the sound of the rhythm. Do, ta, do, ta. That is a really, really cool strum to learn. You can use that with any song that has that same sort of beat, that do, ta, sound to it.